All right, so we've got the Z125 out here. This one's a 2018. It's got an aftermarket exhaust on it already, and we are going to add a fender elim and some shorty levers. We've got some tank grips and a couple other goodies for it. Let's get to it. So when you get ready to take the brake lever off on your Z125, you're gonna come with a 10mm down to this nut right here, and you're just gonna loosen that off, and it should free up the screw that's in there so that you can push it out of the top. If it doesn't just push out, then you might also need to loosen the top so that it can screw out. Both of them are 10 mil, so it should come right out of the top. It's really long, just like that. That's the bolt that came out of the bottom, and you'll just slide that right out. Super simple. And then your new one will fit right into place where the old one was. Super easy, and then you'll just screw that back down. I'm gonna put some lubrication on this so that it doesn't seize up or anything like that, and that it comes out easily for myself for the next. Got the new aftermarket SZW lever, and we're gonna put that right on here. It's gonna go on just like that. Slip right in. The same parts that you took off will go back in. I'm going to use some anti-seize lubricant so that when I put the new bolt in there, that it stays nice and loose. Stuff gets a little messy, and a little bit goes a long way, so I don't even have to squeeze it. There was a little bit out just from the last job that I did, and that will be enough to pretty much coat the whole thing. So I'm going to come right over here, and I'm just going to spread that around on there. Get it in the thread too. Smooth that around, and there you go. You can see a little bit goes a very long way. I'm just gonna slip that right in. And make sure it lines up so that it can catch the thread. And then now you're all set to take your 10mm and torque it down. So we're gonna come right here and just get that going right back down in there. I think it's catching. Tighten that all the way down, just a little bit past hand tight. And then you're gonna take your bolt, you're gonna slip that right back under there. I think the ones on the bottom, if I remember correctly, are invert. Let me just double check. Gonna hand tighten that on there, and then follow up with a full crank of that. And there you go. Your shorty lever is on. Adjustable, of course. We've got a 10mm bolt right in there, and again another 10 right on the top here. You're going to loosen those two, but you're also going to have to pull your clutch cable out of it once you get it off, so don't forget about that part. Let's try to get this up on there. All right, we're good, and let's try to loosen. Came right off. And just so you know, when you're loosening the bolt from the bottom doing your clutch lever, I've noticed that it's true for my 636s and for the ZX10s that it's invert if you're coming from the bottom. So it's not righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. It's righty-loosey, lefty-tighty. And I found that out because I snapped the bolt off on my 636 and had to go and order a whole new one. But that bottom one's off. Take the top one off, and this is back normal, lefty-loosey. comes right out, a little bit longer than the brake lever side. So we slide this out. You've got to get your clutch wire out, just like that. And there you have it. That's your clutch lever. So my clutch lever over here is a little dirty. I mean, it's an old bike. I don't think it's had any of this maintenance done to it before. So I'm just gonna wipe it down a little bit, and we'll reapply some of the anti-seize lubricant onto there. Again, a little goes a long way. So I'm just gonna like dollop the wire just so that it treats us nicely. I'm reinstalling the other one. And so now we're gonna crank that back down until it's caught and you can't twist any further. And you're gonna take your bolt, put it back on the bottom, and I'm actually just gonna put it back in here. That way it screws right up. And so now you're gonna lefty-loosey this on, because going the left direction with the new levers on will in fact tighten it. Make sure it caught. Oh, that's not helping. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna hand crank it back on, and then once it's caught, we'll start to twist it with the socket. Make sure we get it going up. There we go. Make sure that is. Alright. You don't need to apply too much force when you're tightening, because it will snap the bolt that it has the thread. But now you're good. You've got your shorty levers on. You can adjust it however you like. Alright, and so on a 2018 Z125 Pro, when you're going to do your rear fender elim, it looks to be that it's going to be just one wire run under the fairing right there. So you'll unplug from there, you'll loosen the screws that are holding the casing in, and then you'll plug in your new one and screw it right back in. So we'll get that going right now. Looks like we'll need maybe or maybe not some poppers, but you'll need a Phillips screwdriver. Ooh. Let them know that there's a screw right in there that's going to come out, and in there that's going to come out, and then you also need to pull off these side fairings right here.
Just the small bike.
And so you'll trace this wire right here out and through, and you pop these up off of those posts, and it comes right out. And so now you're going to unscrew these 10s from underneath, and then your old doopy fender will fall right off. Okay, so now that your fender's off, you got all this clean space for your new bracket and setup, and you can plug your new light right in. The new one's going to plug right into here. Single wire, nothing else, very easy. Okay, so now the new is plugged right in, and you're going to put your screws back in there. The wire's plugged right into there for your brake light. And we did not get the extra connectors for the blinker lights, so we have to splice that or do something in another video. And so now that everybody's back into place, you're just going to take your fairings, put them back on, screw it in, screw it in, screw it in. And so then you put your poppers back in, and now the tail goes on and you're all set. So now we've got the aftermarket all the way.